It's a wine and dine with 40. Anywho, you can also cook the ground beef with it if you like. The reason why I'm doing it like this is I've already prepared it, obviously. Oh, gotta wash my hands again. But I just wanted you to see how simple it is. Once you've broken up the sausage and you put it inside the pan, it's really a matter of just the heat coming. And shaking it around. Ooh, almost touched my nose again. Salt and pepper as you go too. I don't usually use salt after I start eating, but I will use it from time to time while cooking. So I really am much more of a big fan of pepper. Not for any health reasons or anything like that. I've always liked pepper. So you're going to let that cook till it's pretty much cooked all the way through. And what you will need to do is as you're cooking it, the bigger chunks, start breaking it up. And this is why I like wood, is because the wood won't hurt the nice pans that my mother-in-law bought me. I think I'll probably be doing some shout-outs while we go through. I'm also using some portion molds I bought from Sheila's daughter for a school project. The Zodiac joke was for Dory. And I'm sure that I'll be getting quite a bit of comments from people as I go along. So, we've already had this done. It's not quite necessary for me to have right now. That now. So now we have the sausage ready. Turn up the oven and leave the sauce on there. And this would be, I'm going to go back over here first. Actually, no, we're going to stay here. We're going to leave that on. Remember earlier I said that as part of the garnish for the meal, the second type of sausage, this would be the kielbasa, I boil. And the reason why I boil it is because when you cut raw sausage, it's very hard to cut without losing some of the product. And when you start to saute it, it'll blow up and the skin tightens. But if you boil it first and then cut it, you're going to see that it's a much smooth, much more firmer consistency. The skin's already gotten tight, and so when you get it, you get a solid piece of sausage. If we were to try to just take sausage and cut it up raw, I'll show you. The skin breaks up, and then once you saute it, all this will tighten, and the meat will get pushed out, and though it won't cook as easily. Now, put that back. All the little pieces we're going to put inside the saute pan. The reason I do it is because for some reason just boiled sausage doesn't taste good. When you saute it, it crisps up the end, browns them very nicely, and when they come out, because it is going to be on top of all the shells, along with that special cheese and another mix, it's got to be aesthetically pleasing, meaning it's got to look good. If it doesn't look good, no one's going to want it. So, we will let that saute up for a little bit. No rush on that. We're going to turn the camera again. Like I said, I'll be nominated for an Oscar for camera movement. Now we're going to make my favorite part. I love making the mix to this. We are done with the sausage portion. You already know what we're doing with that. Leave that there. Cheers. I'll leave this over here. So, first what we're going to do, and one of the reasons why it's my favorite, is we're going to make some breadcrumbs. This is the pizza flavored Pringles I told you about earlier. And a roller inside a big gallon Ziploc bag. Move this stuff out of the way. And honestly, you just go back and forth on the bag. Hold it with my weight. And as you roll it, they really will get pretty fine. And you don't want, for this recipe at least, you don't want a big clump. You want to get it as fine as possible. Now for other items that we'll be cooking later, for other items that we'll be cooking as we go, like next week or week after, sometimes you want to leave the breadcrumbs pretty thick because you want to have that specific flavor come out of them. But for right now, we just want a thin thing of breadcrumbs. See how nice it is? Nice and thin. And the reason why, with the shells, though it is going to be inside of something, I like to have a little bit of a binding agent. So what I use for that is a little bit of breadcrumbs. I'm a firm believer in brown eggs. The reason why, actually the only reason I know brown eggs are different from white is that their shell is thicker. I think it's easier to crack with my hands. We have the ricotta cheese, the 15-ounce container. Ooh, love ricotta cheese. I cooked this one time for all my friends, and I think I put enough cheese in it that our bodies actually had to go to sleep afterwards because of the amount of cheese that was used in it. Now I used probably like a half a cup of the Philadelphia cream cheese, garlic, and herb version. I know it's weird, but I tell you what, any recipe that calls for ricotta or a cheese to be incorporated with the main dish as you cook it, I love Philadelphia cream cheese because they have different flavors. I use it for a jalapeno popper, stuffed grilled jalapeno poppers that we do for my family, and you just can't beat it. I've already cooked the pasta, so we don't have to worry about that. This is, again, the sausage that's cooked with the minced garlic and salt and pepper, along with about a half pound of ground beef. And put it all in together. Ooh, throw that grease away. Put it all in together, get our little turning thing. We're going to check on the sausage. I'm going to stand right here since you're watching me. Sausage starting to get brown on each side. That's cool. That's what you want. It gives a nice brown color. People like things that are colorful or golden brown. For those of you in the restaurant industry, it's an adjective sometimes we use to sell people stuff that they might not have normally bought. And if you're not in the restaurant industry, don't listen to that last statement and come and buy some food. Not quite as fast as I anticipated. That's okay. I'll probably do a lot of reviewing too, but like I said, any questions you have, I'm sure that YouTube will give you a way to get a hold of me. Now, we have in there the ground beef, the sausage, the cream cheese, the egg, the breadcrumbs. We've been making the sauce on the side that I showed you earlier, and the reason why is because this sauce has the milk and the butter added to it. The other sauce that we're going to put on the bottom of the baking dish won't. It'll just have straight sauce on it. I don't know why I do it that way. I could make up a reason if you want, but I'm not going to pretend to do stuff for no reason whatsoever. I do find that though I love to add items to different meals, sometimes you can add too much and mess it up. Like a lot of times my cheeseburgers taste a little bit like meatloaf burgers, as I've been told by my brother-in-law and sister-in-law. Right. Now, it's got a little bit of a soupy consistency to it, but because we did add a lot of cheese on it, I do keep sometimes the breadcrumbs because I make up my own, but I do like the rest of Italian style. Like I said, it's a little bit of a binding agent. It's not normal to put in shells, but as far as my recipe goes, it is. I always end up having so much leftover mix too that, you know, you can almost add this to anything. You can make it a dip for chips, believe it or not, but makes a hell of a ultimate nachos. Okay, so that's all mixed up. It's a nice, I don't know what color that is. A reddish brown. Tell you what though, it's tasty. Alright, so we have that. I don't need dips anymore. Get to the side. Sausage is still browning. Sausage looks really great. I love it. Shells is one of my favorite meals to cook. I'm off camera here, but that's okay. Get this out of the way. Shells we have here. Now, we'll need a baking dish. So what we'll do is we'll take this baking dish, get some of the sauce we have not used yet, and you want to create a small layer of grease all over my hands. And I'm not strong enough to open a jar of sauce. One of the two. Spread it on the bottom. And of course, for my wife, I will be recycling this.